Hello guys, welcome back to another video. In this video, we are going to show how you can show your own profile, your research profile more attractive, in a more attractive way and more beautifully. So let's get started. First of all, what you're going to do is that you're going to take Excel data, which I already summarized for this particular person, which is Dr. Abdul Qayyum. He's from Pakistan, and we are going to summarize his information like this. So first of all, I took his name, Abdul Qayyum. I use a Google Scholar reference from Google Scholar profile, and I just downloaded all the information from his profile. His affiliation included a School of Chemical Engineering, Yangon University. Then comes his specialization, then Google's Scholar profile link, and then his number of publications, citations. All this information was extracted from Google Scholar. And then comes the journal number of publication and their impact factor. What I did is I just listed down the number of publications he had in different journals, and then the number of publication in each journal, followed by the impact factor. And then I just rearrange them into increasing order, which you can easily do from go to data, sort, and you can easily sort them by impact factor or by the number of publications, whatever you want to do. One more interesting thing which I want you guys to learn is that you can introduce your research profiles like a QR code. For example, if you can see over here, and so instead of writing your resume details or your website links, you can just paste in your QR codes, which are really easy and simple to do. I will show you how you can do that really easily in Microsoft Excel or Microsoft Word, whatever you like, or even Microsoft PowerPoint. So first of all, go to insert menu, and then you can see it get add-ins. For example, in this case, I currently have an add-in which is QR4 Office. So once you download it, you can easily click on this one and you can say add a QR code. So now let's say it's asking for enter the URL text. For example, this one, I'm going to copy this text, copy that, I'm going to paste it over here. Okay, now I'm just going to click on empty space here, and then I'm going to select insert. Now you can see this is my QR code. If you this is the QR code for Dr. Abdul Qayyum. If you want to search it, you can just scan it from your camera or just scan QR scanner, and it will directly take you to your web page or your Google Scholar link. Okay, you can also increase this, change the size for this image. For example, if you want a bigger QR code, you can also do that. If you want to change the color, you can also do that, and you can later on play it with this one. I'm going to move towards the design part. Now let's quickly move towards the design part. Let's go over here. Now you can see this is the main profile. What I did actually is I just made these profiles in a simple way. So first of all, make another slide, remove all this part. What I'm going to do is for this case, I'm going to make a new slide. Okay, and I'm going to keep the other one as my reference, and I'm going to paste it on the second screen. Okay, first of all, what you are going to do is take a blank screen, go to design options, format background, and then click on gradient, and then choose the last gradient. This is the gradient that I'm going to use in this slide. And then followed by that, I'm going to use a copy and image over here. For example, this was the image that I'm going to use. So you can use your pictures that you have from your professional pictures that you have in your profile. You can use those ones. And if you can see that this picture is nothing, just a simple picture, you can just go to picture format, and you can change the crop and crop shape to another shape. For example, if I want to in this shape, you can simply do like that. If you want to change shape to another shape, you can simply do like that also. Followed by that, what I did is I added a name. For example, go to insert option, text box, right, Dr. Muhammad Abdul Qayyum. So it's really easy. What I did is actually just wanted to focus on the main key aspects, which includes his specializations and all that. After that, followed by specializations and his impact factor. I know that for the researchers that are new in the field, they might don't have enough publications, so don't worry for that. Whatever you have, you need to present that in a more beautiful way and more attractive way, so that more people can see and more people can know about you guys. Okay, so this is what you are doing right now. For example, if you're a postdoc, so you can write that as postdoc, but make sure that this title is a little bit smaller than the previous one. So what you can do is just make it half the size of the above one. And in this case, I'm going to highlight this one. So what I can do is I can use a shape, and I can put a shape behind this one like this. And let's say this is the blue color. I'm going to give it a white color so that my background is white and my text is blue. So for example, in this case, the text is already white, so I'm going to change the color and going to change it to the background like this. Okay, so once you're done with this one, you can put it like this, and then comes the affiliation. Now affiliation comes again in the white part, So I'm going to copy the affiliations from there, copy that. I'm going to paste them here, but this time not bold. Okay, so this is bold actually, so I'm going to reduce the bold font and I'm going to reduce it like this. Okay, now this part is done. When this part is done, what you can do is try to make sure that all these are in a sequence. When I say in a sequence, that means the height of this part should be equal to this one and the ending part should be like this. Okay, so you can manage that and adjust that so that they are all in appropriate space, and also make sure that all the words, all the sentences have equal space between them. None of them has a higher space, none of them has a lower space. So make sure you follow these things. Now what you can do is, if you think that this looks too big and you cannot adjust in here, so what you can do is you can reduce the size of the text so that you can make sure that all of your data is coming inside this part. So like this, you just finalize this part, and then comes the next part, which is specialization. Okay, so now when you go to the specialization part, same, keep the same size, specialization. So once you write specialization, what you can do is same thing like this. So now nothing more to do, copy this and paste it and put it here. So for example, if Dr. Qayyum has a specialization in liquefaction, so you can write liquefaction followed by the steps, which is includes other ones. So the easiest thing is that once you make one, you have a ready format which you can copy and paste and repeat it. For example, if you have liquefaction like this, you can repeat them like this. And similarly, if you have one more qualification or 3 or 4 qualification, I think 3 or 4 qualifications are enough to justify or to introduce yourself. So that's how you can do it. So this is the specialization part. So what I will do is that I'm just going to copy the same part which I did in the previous slide so I can have a good reference. Okay, I'm just going to remove this one and paste it like this. For example, now in the specialization case, Dr. Qayyum had liquefaction, bioenergy, integrated energy systems. We are not going to go in these details, just we are going to focus on the other part, which is the design part. Now comes the citations. So citations do matter, but I'm not expert in that, so I'm not going to comment on that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to focus on these parts, which are the key highlights, which can introduce a research scholar in a better way. So I'm just going to focus on that part and not going to go into technical details. People might know more about this in this, who have a more good experience and are more expert in this area. So I'm going to work in this part and just going to show you how you can do like that. So my job over here is just to tell you guys how you can make it. So as you can see that these are simple things which I'm not doing much about it. So what I'm doing is I'm just copying and pasting it, and just pasting the same thing which I did before. So now you can see that this citation has a text of 24. I'm not being consistent over here right now, but I just want to emphasize some parts, so I'm going to increase or decrease the size based on that. For example, this is 24 and this is also 24, which is pretty much same. This is the main title, which is capital, which is 32, that's okay, and then comes the smaller font. So you can see that this is 44. I wanted to emphasize this part, that's why I kept it like this. Okay, now comes the graph part. So for example, this was the graph that we were using. For example, this was the graph that we needed. So for example, this is data with year that shows how many citations in every year. So go to insert, recommended options, go to all charts, go to bar, and you can see this bar chart over here, or you can see this bar chart here. I'm going to choose this one. I'm going to select this one, then copy this one. I'm sorry, undo. I'm going to copy this one, go back to the presentation slide and put it over here. Now you can see that you cannot see much about it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on this part. First of all, increase the size, make sure it's 16 or 18, visible size, make it white and make it bold. I'm going to choose a different size, which is Century Gothic. I personally like that size, that font, that's why. Similarly, I'm going to use Century Gothic again, same format, bold, bold. I'm going to increase the size, make sure they are similar in size. For example, this is 18 and make sure this is 18 also. Now I'm going to work on this part. So double click on this one. Again like this, go to color options, choose vary colors by point, then choose this series option, and then you can say gap width. You want to have a little bit gap width but not too much. Then go over here, then go to the 3D format, and then just increase the size like this, okay, to 4.5 4.5 or 5. That's enough. Now go over here, data labels. Now you want to have data labels like this. Click on the data labels, increase the size, make them bold and make them white. So now they are visible in it. So now what you can do is, this is the data that shows that how many citations in every year. Make sure that this part is equal to this part. That means they are equally in the equally they have equal distance from the bottom of the slide, so they will look more better. And then what you can do is you can have a small introduction here which shows that you can say number of citations in each year, and that's how you can define it. And in this part what you can do is make this part yellow, and just because to keep just to emphasize more in some part, you can change the color of that part. And now we are going to adjust this over here and put it over here. So now this is just an introduction information, so I'm going to make it italic so it looks more fancy. Okay, so now this part is done, which shows that okay, Dr. Abdul Qayyum is a postdoctorate and is from this affiliation, specialization in this, and this is his achievement, which is 549 citations, H-index, I-10, and then number of citations every year. Now comes the part in which you are going to show how many papers and in which journals they have published. Okay, so that also counts. So I'm going to work on that part, but before that I'm going to replace this one with the content that I made before, just to be concise enough. Okay, now comes the QR part. First of all, what I'm going to do is, like I showed you before, how you can generate a QR code, which is, for example, this is the address. Copy that, go to insert option, and then my add-ins. I'm going to select QR office again, and then add. And then what you have to do is simply paste the address here, and then click any empty cell and insert. So copy this, go back, paste it over here, and then paste it in the corner. So this is really, I think, a new technique or a new idea that you guys can use in your research slides, so that it can be more how to say, attractive and more presentable, I think. Because no one is using this kind of thing, because now the technology is fast and you have good internet speeds. So whoever wants to know more about you guys, more about you, they can just simply scan the QR code. It can either lead them to your Google Scholar site, or you can also lead you to your web page. For example, people have more publications, like Dr. Abdul Qayyum, who is currently he's having 52 publications. So if somebody has more than 50 publications or more than 100 publications which you cannot summarize, like in his case I couldn't summarize that. So what I said is you can scan the QR code for detailed resume or for detailed profile. So that's how you can work on it. So I just mentioned the total number here. If you can also mention, and also not to mention that your journal's impact factor also matters in something, if I'm not wrong. Yes, it does matter. So I'm going to highlight which one are the top journals, and I'm also going to highlight which one are the other journals followed by for example, if this is 7 impact factor, so any journal with lower than 7 but greater than some number, I'm going to just show them as an example. This is what I try to do. Might have a good suggestion. If you have suggestions, please let me know in the comment down below. So now comes the journal impact factor. For example, now if you have different journals, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you one example. So for example, this is a journal that you have published. So I'm just going to select the first one, which is RSER, Renewable Sustainable Energy Reviews, 12.11 impact factor, really good impact factor. So I'm going to select here, and I'm going to make it 1.42, which is the size which I found is more suitable. If you have less journals, you can make it bigger in size. So if you have more journals, you can reduce the size and just show the top ones. So what I did in this case is that I showed one journal, and what I did is I took a text box and just wrote 4. Let's say I published 4 journals. Hopefully someday I will do, and inshallah. So what you can do is select this one, change shape to this one, and have rounded borders. So for example, I want to make it bigger in size, and I'm going to show it somewhere like this. So that means this renewable journal, I published 4 journals in this one, and something like this. And then I can give a small description to this part, which is something like this. Go to insert options and choose a curve. What you can do is select this one and like this. So now this has a different color. I'm going to change the color of the line, make it white, and also increase the thickness for this. So once I increase the thickness, what I'm going to do is I'm going to change it to dotted lines. This looks more good and more attractive. I'm going to select over here, put it over here, and then I'm going to give a explanatory note over here which shows that number of publications or number of articles in respective journal. So that means in this particular journal I published this one. So normally when it comes to publications, so those who are familiar with this field, they can easily identify a journal based on the cover of the journal. So that's how you do it. Okay, so for example, in this case, I'm doing like this. I'm going to reduce the size so that it just takes less space, and then I'm going to make another column. Let's say journal greater than 7 and journals less than 7. Okay, say like this, sorry, less than 7 and greater than 2.6. So this is the lowest journal in which he published so far. And so what you can do is apart from the thing, just focus on the thing that which I'm telling you guys, so you can apply this thing in your technique and see where it takes you. And just click here and send it back so that it doesn't come to the top. And then followed by that, what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to replace them over here so that you can understand what I mean. You can paste it here like this, and similarly go down like this. So I know that for these journals you might take less space or more space, and for Dr. Abdul Qayyum, I'm going to show you the final slide which he made, which he has. So I'm going to copy that. Remember, these slides don't contain the complete information. These are just the major highlights. If you want to check out more about his profile, you can just scan the QR code and then you can easily see how it looks like. So let's just go in a full screen. Now you can see Dr. Abdul Qayyum, information, specialization, citations, number of published articles, and QR code. If you want, you can try scanning the QR code and see more about his profile. Now let's just see different comparisons. So I'm going to copy this one and paste it here, and paste, and let's make 4-5 samples. Okay, now let's see. You cannot see anything. The reason why is that some texts are in white color, so that's why you cannot see that. So I'm going to change the background color and show you different gradient patterns. For example, this is the first one. If you change this pattern, I recommend, if you're using light colors, you cannot see that one. So how about trying using these ones? I really recommend using dark colors because it will really grab the attention of the viewers or your audience. For example, if your audience sitting, they're not going to look on the same white slides again and again. So if you have a colorful slide, they will definitely look at it. So let's say that's one option. Now go to another one and go to gradient fill again, and now choose another one. Let's say dark gray. That's also doesn't look bad. Now similarly, go here, change another slide. Let's say we're going to make another gradient color. Go to gradient color and choose another one. Let's say dark golden. It also is no looks bad. It also looks more good. So remember, if you are choosing dark colors, you have to choose the colors accordingly. But so far it's looking fine, so you don't have to work more about it. Similarly, go to gradient profile again, change another color, choose dark green. It also doesn't look bad. Now I'm going to show you one more color. Let's say solid color. I'm going to choose I won't recommend purple, okay, so don't go for that. So if I have to give you some suggestions, I would say go for a little bit dark blue, which I already use, and it would definitely will not look too bad about it. So that's all. I hope you guys like this video, and if you haven't watched my previous videos, do watch them. And if you have more comments and suggestions, please do let me know in a comment section down below. And if you want me to make something else, and if you have some suggestions, please leave your comments down below. I will be more than happy to know more about what you want to say. I hope you guys like this video. Till then, take care. Allah Hafiz.